welcome back to Food Prep Guide. I'm out in the garden today and there's something going on with my basil and I wanted to share it with you. I want to cover 3 things today. I want to talk about when to harvest basil, what it looks like when it's about to bolt so that you can harvest it before it gets to that point, but also why you should plant some extra basil just for the bees. Let's get to it. Here is one of my basil plants, and as basil grows, this is what it's going to be looking like. I'm sure you all are familiar with what it looks like, but it just grows in clusters throughout the stems. And when it is getting close to bolting, and bolting just means going to seed, it's going to start putting out flowers to seed and reproduce itself. When it's just about to bolt, you will start seeing this little bud popping up in between your big basil leaves. And it's just looks like the beginning of a flower, and that's what it is. And that stem will grow taller and taller and taller until eventually we have this right here. It'll push out a stem like this, and then this will start putting out white flowers all around, and that means it has officially bolted. Now basil, once it bolts, can turn bitter. So ideally you want to harvest your basil before it gets to this point. And if you walk out to your garden one day and you start seeing these little things right here, it's time to harvest and make yourself some pesto, which is what I'm going to be doing soon. I'll probably have a video on that shortly. But I wanted to talk about why I leave some basil plants not for harvesting, but for the bees, and why you might want to as well. Let me show you what's going on once these basil plants are bolting. I hope you were able to see just how busy that basil plant was with pollinators. I saw bumblebees, I saw honeybees, and I just saw random flying insects that are also pollinator friends, and they just absolutely love when basil goes to seed. I learned that last year accidentally. I didn't mean to let all my basil go to seed, but I did because I just didn't get to it in time, and it drew the bees in. And my late summer harvest was fantastic, and the fall garden, and that's what I want to point out. When basil goes to seed in midsummer, and if you leave that plant in the ground, it will draw in those pollinators just in time to start planting out your fall garden in August. And those pollinators will already be drawn into your garden to start pollinating your fall harvest crops. And it's just an excellent way to encourage pollinators without having to start flowers from seed, which can kind of take a while. Or maybe you just forgot this year like I did. I have some sunflowers and some zinnias. I did a couple of nasturtiums, but it just wasn't enough to really make a humongous difference with pollinators. But my basil, once again, has not failed me. It is bringing in the pollinators, and it is essentially setting up my fall garden up for fantastic pollination rates. So I hope you consider maybe planting a few extra basil plants for the bumblebees this year. Your fall harvest will thank you. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.